Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow toes and strolls. This is your host, the most, A.K.A. also known as Neil Queen. And thank you for tuning back to the channel, A.K.A. Hold up, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm getting this mixed up with my stream and stuff, which will be in the description box down below. Actually, I feel like, box and docs. Box and docs. They're interchangeable. Anyhow, y'all, not worried about all that. Again, it's great to see you guys again. And I'm thankful that I have this opportunity to go ahead and have a moment with y'all today. Now, real quick, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know this right now. I got a lot more in the bag I'm going to bring to you guys' attention. But I said to myself, you know what, today, I just want to get this one out the way. But real quick, y'all, let me get my disclaimers out the way real quick. First and foremost, y'all, stay hydrated. Second of all, please take what I say with a grain of salt. Okay? A.K.A. Okay? At the end of the day, y'all, I'm not always going to be right, but surely I'm not always going to be wrong. So, keep that in mind. Okay? Okay. And my third disclaimer is, y'all, let's be objective first and subjective second at the best of times if it can be helped. Okay? Now, let me go get this out of my system. The question for today, y'all, in a long time edition of the Sus series, I know some of y'all have been waiting for it. I know. I'm going to get back in my rhythm of it. But I said today, this honestly has been irking my fucking spirit for a long time, y'all. And I said to myself today, before I start streaming today, I was like, let me get this out of my system out the way. And I have been trying to get back on my consistency for my content over here, y'all. So like I said, I'm going to bring it back. But let's get this out of my system. So the question I'm going to ask y'all today, or the question I want to post today, y'all, as I'm pulling my pants up. Okay, how you like the suit, by the way? Look good? And for some reason, y'all, I've worn this suit like several times. And for some reason, today it feels not small, but it feels big. For some reason, it usually don't feel big, but today it feels big. I don't know why. Kind of throw me off a little bit. Anyhow, the question I'm gonna post for you guys today that I want to go over is. And I'm gonna give credit. I'm gonna give credit where I got this from. Is like earlier today, I was on Reddit, just scroll through shit. And you know how sometimes if you are not necessarily following a certain Reddit, but it'll like pop up one that you've that you have like gone over in the past. So I saw one where, what was it called? Stupid foods, right? So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And this is the question I had to post to myself, and I'm gonna post to you guys. Is stupid foods really sus? And I was like, you know what? Like, initially I want to say yes, but the funny thing was, y'all, like, I'm not trying to laugh, y'all. I'm not trying to laugh. But it's like when I was going through the, just scroll through it and whatnot. Because you know what, to be honest with y'all, and I think I've spoken on this before, but if I haven't, let me speak on this again. Sometimes, y'all, if I'm being honest, and this is the additional disclaimer I want to give for this, because I'm gonna be fair, because I don't want you guys to get a misunderstanding for what I'm going to say, as downplaying anyone who wants to utilize their creativity. At the end of the day, it's a culinary art. All right, at your own leisure and at your own discretion, you choose what you want to mix and want to create into the world or bring forth into the world. So I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way when I say, again, I encourage you to have a creative spirit, but at the same fucking time, Jesus fucking Christ, it does not kill you to make a game plan. Like, here's the thing. Here's my thing, y'all. It's like initially I want to say yes, right? But the reason I want to say yes is not the food, or say this, more so the ingredients, right, that you would put into the meal. That's not necessarily why it actually takes my fucking soul, or why I would say yes, it's sus. It's not the food, because there's a two-part question to it. It's like yes and no. This is what I mean. No, stupid food is not sus in the realm of not all, to be fair, but, okay, but in a general sense, the ingredients are not sus of themselves, right? Even when you put them together necessarily. It's the way you are putting them together, right? And the order how you're fixing them is what's fucking sus. Like, for instance, like a certain common thread you'll find if you ever go to that Reddit, y'all, or any premise when it comes to stupid food, is typically you hear something called rage baiting. And to be honest with y'all, like I told y'all before, I'm someone who doesn't get mad like that, but I get agitated very easily to a lot of things. So it's not that, to me, I look at it as rage baiting, but I can see it. It's more so I'm aggravated and I'm agitated by people, for one, who are wasting food. And I've told y'all this before. I come from, and I was thinking about this today, and I want to ask y'all this. Like, how would you describe your cultural background when it comes to cooking? Because I come from one where you don't waste food. You have to have a grandma spirit mentality. And let me explain real quick, y'all. For some of y'all who may not know what the fuck I'm talking about, this is what I mean. Because grandma, for the most part, and granted, I'm not talking about grandmas nowadays, to be fair, okay? But grandmas back in the day, the thing is, not all grandmas, but there were the grandmas back in the day where they didn't come from the most financially stable homes or environments. But let's say when it came to their family, and usually even back then in the day, y'all, they had like, you would typically have a lot of people have like, babies and whatnot. So the thing is this. The grandmother, let's say if both parents were working, or you want the support group of the family, the grandmother might say to herself that, okay, my role in supporting my grandbabies is I'm going to make sure they're being fed. Okay? So the thing is, grandmothers, right? The spirit of the grandmother is to evoke you to say, let me take whatever is the pantry or what's in the refrigerator, whatever we have that we don't necessarily have to spend frivolously, right? And somehow I'm gonna put it all together and I'm gonna make it work. Now here's the thing. Some grandmas are responsible for some stupid ass shit, but for some reason, this is the thing. This is the magic of it. For some reason, as stupid as what they put together, it came out and it made sense, or somehow they made something that fed everybody. Somehow they found a way to feed everyone at the table. So this is the thing. Like I said, y'all, I'm not saying none of our grandmas ain't made some stupid ass shit, but I am saying they made some stupid ass shit in an effort to make sure everyone was fed properly or well enough. So no one was like malnourished for the most part, or starving, or hungry. All right, not hungry, y'all, hungry. That's how we say in the South. Low key, high key a little bit. Yeah, hey, you know what you know. But this is the thing. Like I said, y'all, it's not the ingredients themselves necessarily. Sometimes it's the way you choose to go about it. For example, y'all, I saw one where, I guess you could call it's more like a trend I want to talk about. It's a trend of where people are fixing pasta-based products, but they're not fixing it in the way that the instructions would encourage them to do so, or it is implied you need to follow these instructions. They'll do it like in different sauces and what have you. And to me, or even when I just saw earlier, it's like, okay, you have a burrito, right? I guess you could call like a breakfast casserole in a sense, right? So the idea of it, if you ever go look it up. Because here's the thing, the concept in itself and how they are trying to put it together, it can make sense. But the way they choose to go about it does not make no fucking sense. So for example, right, they have like, I want to say 4 big ass tortillas kind of in a place where it's like in a pan, right? And also, hold up, y'all, as I'm describing this, you technically could fix this yourself, and it could work if you follow the direction that I'm about to give you, okay? Because real quick, y'all, not to go too much on a tangent on this, but again, I'm just trying to get this out of my system. I just want to make sure something's understood, y'all. And ladies, I want y'all to hear me on this. And I want you to really, now hear what I'm saying, all right, motherfucker? Hear, but listen to what I'm going to say. Please understand something. I know there's this typical trend, you could say that men are saying, or the implication is, in this day and age, modern women don't know how to cook. I want to make sure I'm very clear about something. Please understand, for my ladies who know what I'm going to say, you good. But for those who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, this is for y'all ass. Please understand something. Just because, let's say, if you can fix a sandwich, let's say a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm going to give you a test. I just want you to go ahead, and fellas, go ahead, do this test yourself too. Invoke others, like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. Just invoke this test to them real quick. Don't even call it a test. Just a challenge, if you will. Do a challenge. Ask them, can you fix me, or not even fix me, but just fix a jelly sandwich, a peanut butter jelly sandwich, right? Doesn't matter what peanut butter it is, doesn't matter what jelly it is, don't matter. Just ask them, can you fix a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? If they say yes, say, okay, go ahead, do it. And this is the way I want to encourage you to look at them. And this is how you separate. This is how you separate someone who can cook versus someone who's actually well versed in the culinary arts. These are two different camps. All right? And I'm not trying to say both of these should be treated differently necessarily in terms of the individual, but how you carry themselves within the respective space of the kitchen, right? I'm in the kitchen. So here's the thing. Anyone, for the most part, can fix a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Most people can be in here. Most people start here. Just make sure this is understood. Most people start here, right? If not all people start here, right? The difference now, when you're moving over here, is this. Both camps can fix a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but this camp right here understands how to make a good to excellent, not escalate, y'all, excellent peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You want to know how? It's two, and again, I can go so many different recipes on this, but I'm gonna keep it relatively simple to explain what I mean by this, right? Someone who is just knows how to cook, right? Understands you need bread, or if you do peanut butter and jelly crackers, that's another one you could do. But anyhow, again, that's another thing. But let's just say bread, right? They understand they need bread. They understand they need peanut butter. They understand they need jelly, right? They understand that and they can put that together and they'd be okay. Here's the thing. Again, this is the first camp. The second camp right here, for pardon me, all my sophisticated chefs out here, artists, if you know it, here's the thing. The peanut butter jelly sandwich, again, is twofold in terms of how you need to approach it. Number one, how do you want to prepare your bread? Now, here's the thing, because that's a bit of a trick question. Because again, you got to think about the brand. You have to think about, do you want to make homemade bread, right? What particular style of bread do you want to go for, okay? The second part is, or before I even go to the second part, you have to consider, do you want your bread toasted? Do you not want to toast it? Do you want it a little soggy? Do you want it a little crispy? Do you want it a little bit, what do you want specifically to meet where you want it to meet? Now going to the second part is ratio. Now some of y'all know what I'm talking about when I say ratio, and some of y'all think I'm thinking about something else. Get your mind out of the gutter real quick. But this is what I mean when I say ratio. And again, keep that word in mind, ratio. All right, I'm gonna put in some mathematics here real quick. Not too much, a little bit. So here's the thing. There is a preferred ratio when it comes to the peanut butter and when it comes to the jelly. Meaning, you want to make sure that you are ratioing the amount of peanut butter and jelly in a way where they're not overtaking each other, but they're right there where they need to be at. Say, for example, if you're fixing peanut butter without, let's say, the chunks of peanut butter, not peanut butter, but peanuts in them, right? Then you might say, okay, I need not so much jelly. But let's say if you got little chunks in there, you might say, I need a little bit additional jelly, and I want to make sure it's fairly distributed as well as it can. And again, it's easy. Here's the thing, y'all. It's easy to just slap on some peanut butter. It's easy to slap on some some jelly, but there's a difference between when you know what jelly you're using, you know what peanut butter you're using, and you know how to appropriately distribute it equal enough to where you try your best to, you know how, say, when you're eating a sandwich and you see like stuff at the end kind of spreading out. Here's the thing. If your peanut butter jelly, as you're biting into it, if the ends are coming out, then that can be an indication that you put a little too much of something on there. And everyone can make their mistakes. That's perfectly okay, fine. But as you're learning, you try to appropriately get that ratio just where if a little bit does start kind of come out a little bit, that's just the nature of sandwiches for the most part. So you kind of let that go. But if it's dripping every so often, every time you're biting into it, you put a little too much, baby, your ratio's off. If just a little bit kind of like it's just coming out the end, but it's not dipping out, you got it. And hey, everyone's a little different. At the end of the day, some people like a lot more jelly on their PB&Js. Some people like a lot more peanut butter. So again, it differs for different people. But again, It's about, do you pay attention to that ratio, and do you pay attention to how your bread is being set up? Again, it's a simple recipe, y'all, but there is a key difference. Now, get back to that recipe I was talking to you about. Now, again, the recipe calls for, or the way they were trying to go about it is, okay, you got 4 tortillas. I want to say they were flour tortillas. That don't really matter. But, put them in the pan. And here's the thing, y'all. If you actually want to do this, and I'm not discouraging you guys to do this, but I will say, make sure you get used. You could do vegetable oil, but I would say do olive oil, and be mindful, again, y'all, it's oil. So you don't have to you don't want to slap the motherfucker, but just enough. And put it in the oven before you put the tortillas on there, just so you guys know that. Let it heat up a little bit. Then take it out, put the tortillas, right? And they put bacon in, but they had it uncooked. Now, this is what I will say. First of all, ew. Just ew. 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 Okay? First of all, I would say this. Cook it. Now, if you don't want to cook it all the way through, or let's say you don't care for your bacon to be too crispy, again, just go halfway. If you want it to be cooked a little bit more in the oven when you put it in the oven, I don't want to call what temperature they put it on, but that probably doesn't really matter right now. But the thing is, cook the bacon first, right? Oh, excuse me, they put in cheese. Now, cheese is good. Cheese, layer of cheese, put on there second with the tortillas. Then put the strips of bacon, but already cook them. Again, halfway or fully done. And then the next thing they add in was the egg. But the thing is, again, you can do the same thing like you just did with the bacon. Go ahead. Just go ahead. Fix the eggs. Scramble the eggs. But the thing is, you don't have to do them all the way through. Like for some people, I don't know, I can't recall if there's a specific term for it, but it's like you're fixing egg, but you're not fixing it all the way through where everything is solid. It's still a little bit of that liquidness to it. That's the ideal goal I would assume you would want to do with that dish. So again, put the eggs in there, and then have some bell peppers. And this motherfucker, oh, hold up, back up a little quick. Y'all, hold on. Let me ask y'all this. And I know, typically speaking, I know to a certain degree, a lot of restaurants do this shit, which I understand why they do it. But I would say this, if you're fixing this shit for yourself, go ahead and put whatever seasoning you need to put into your egg. Don't wait into the aftermath. Don't do that shit. Please don't do that. I mean, hey, if that's you, that's you. But just no. Anyhow, fix your eggs. Then cut up your bell peppers where they can be spread out evenly, motherfucker, not in rings. 3 rings. Fuck out of here. Go and spread that some bitch around. And then, if you want to put ground beef, or let's say ground turkey, or even ground breakfast sausage, fix it again. Same thing applies when I was talking about the bacon. Do the same thing. You have to fix it all the way through. But the purpose of fixing it first, or cooking it first, y'all, is to try to get that excess of oil out of it. A little bit of oil ain't gonna kill you, motherfucker. But an excess amount just, ugh. Okay? No disrespect to my greasy folks. If that's your shit, that's your shit. But me, no. I don't fuck with that. Anyhow, ground beef, all that. Again, put an additional layer of, again, some eggs if you want to. A little spread of some cheese in that son bitch. And I believe, and again, y'all, the idea is you already put your seasonings with the eggs and whatnot. That's where the flavor of the seasoning and whatnot is going to be right in your eggs. So you got that, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. Then, you fold it up, put it in the oven. I would assume probably like 375, I think is a good temperature. Probably even that son bitch for maybe about a good 10, maybe 15 minutes. Pop it out and you're done. And the thing is this, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make sure you have a sound structure when you're cooking. And again, you don't want to take away your creativity, motherfucker, but Jesus fucking Christ. That is what agitates my fucking soul. And real quick, I just want to get this, and again, y'all, this is just additional tangent I just want to get out of my system real quick, y'all, real quick. Because I genuinely want to make sure I understand this. Because I see this, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't fix steak like that, to be honest with y'all. But something I typically find, and I just want to know, and I don't know, like again, I'm questioning if this is part of culture or this is just because of, I guess, a popular trend or habit at this point. I'm not quite sure. But if anyone who can answer me this question, are you supposed to cook steak first before you season it? Or excuse me, in the process of seasoning it? Or should you cook, or excuse me, let me try to go right back. So my question, y'all, real quick, I'm gonna leave with y'all is this. Are you supposed to cook the steak, right, as you are progressing in your seasoning of the steak, or is it supposed to be where you season your steak first? And again, I understand different recipes call for different methods, so granted, I'm gonna give you that, but I'm saying typically speaking, what makes more sense as a general rule of thumb if you're fixing steak, right? Do you season that son of a bitch first before you cook that son of a bitch? Not son of a bitch, son of a bitch, okay? Or do you cook it while you're seasoning it? Because to me, that personally, that doesn't make fucking sense to me. It's like the same thing, like for example, if you're fixing a hamburger. This is another thing, okay, y'all, again, y'all, this is another pet peeve of mine that gets under my fucking skin. I do not understand, for anyone who understands what I'm talking about, please explain to me, why the fuck do you fix raw meat? And I understand everyone has different taste buds and whatnot, so again, we understand that. But this is what I mean. Why fix raw ground up beef, for example? You make a hamburger, but you're putting the seasonings on top of the burger instead of letting them sit and properly meld within the burger. That does not make fucking sense to me. And I ain't saying you gotta put a ton of motherfucking seasoning in your shit. I ain't saying none of that. But I'm saying why, and look, don't get it twisted, like with salt, I understand put your shit in your palm. You wanna be careful, you know, that makes sense to me. But you could apply that same concept before you cook it. That's not, again, certain recipes, I understand why. Like for example, I do understand, let's say if you make you want taco meat, that makes sense. Cook it first, drain the fat and all that, and then put your seasonings in. That makes sense to me, and I understand that. But outside of those kind of recipes that calls for that particular procedure, then again, I just don't get the lingo. Personally, I don't. So anyone who would care to understand and try to explain that shit to me, please do so. I would love to hear you out. And again, we could go back and forth. And again, y'all, I will try my best to understand. Okay? We may agree to disagree, but I will try my best not to be disagreeable. But with all that out of my goddamn, well, not all of it, but again, this is, first of all, I ain't gonna front y'all. I low-key thought I was gonna be here for at least good 15 minutes. It's already past 20 minutes, so I probably need to end this some bitch right now. But again, thank you so much, y'all. And like I said, I got a few more such series streams. Well, actually, I do need to bring those streams back. Again, y'all, everything about my streams and whatnot will be in the description. For some reason, I was gonna say cast. I don't know why the fuck I was gonna box down below. Anyhow, I think that's why on my tangents I'm gonna leave this at. All right, but we'll continue this conversation down in the comment section down below, or I might make a part 2 about this. You'll never know. But if you guys have any ideas in terms of any fellow content in regards to the sub-series you would love to see on the channel, please let me know, and I will try to incorporate them to the best of my ability. And even if I don't say like this, if you put the suggestions down there, and let's say I don't do it next time or the time before, just know that it's not out of existence. It's just maybe there's a proper time I want to implement it, just so you guys know. But with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Strules, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out, A.K.A. down, love y'all, namaste. 4 kisses, and I will see y'all later. Peace. Wait a minute, anything else in particular I want to share with you guys? Anything else? Ooh. Nah, I think that's it. But I'll see y'all later. Bye!